Okay, welcome back to the Sons of Montezuma film room. And once again, it's Mateo San Diego, and I'm joined with our resident head coach, Coach Carrasco, Coach C. The Aztecs, well, we finally lost our first game of the year to our bitter rival, Fresno State, 30-20. It was kind of a game where we got out of character. But, you know, the score, you look at the score, and if you watch the game, you would know that the Aztecs were always within striking distance. Of what caught your attention? What caught your eye from a coach's perspective?
Yeah, it was frustrating as a fan to watch just because you saw how close we were, but it felt like we were so far behind so early just because they jumped on us and had a couple of big plays. So sometimes the first impression is, man, we gotta punch back hard. We gotta swing for the fences, and coaches fall into that too. Players do that too. Try to do a little bit too much sometimes, and it really wasn't as bad. And film always exposes so much. And I know when I was coaching, you would feel bad after a loss walking off the field, and man, we got so much work to do, and this is going to be a long film session. Then you get to the film, and you're like, you know what? We actually had a lot of good things happen, and we weren't that far. If we can get these little wrinkles ironed out, we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. And the coach's job is to make sure as fast as possible, when you have heavy heads in that locker room and you have heavy body language coming into a Monday's film session, job number one, you get that mental championship type focus back on track as fast as possible. And you can give the rah-rah speech, hey, we're all right, you're going to be okay, and whatever else. But when you show a kid film and you're like, man, these are some pretty good things you're doing here now. Great job, great read, great throw, great tackle, way to defeat the block, way to do your job. You slowly start getting back to reminding these young Aztecs, you're a good football team. You know what you're doing. They had a better night than we did as far as the big plays were concerned, that. But even the big blows that we took, San Diego State hung in there, had every shot to win this game. And one player I want to focus on in particular is the quarterback, Lucas Johnson. Did he have some moments that, wow, great job by him, great read, great throw, that were pretty dynamic. And these are things that we don't get to see from him on a consistent basis based on the approach that the offense is taking throughout the season. They've been a team that, we're going to be a run first, play action, zone read. And we find ourselves down 20-0. We're really taking some shots here. And even though we've crossed their 50-yard line several times, we just weren't finishing well. You're going to see a smash concept. And what a smash concept is, it's always going to be a hitch, flat area, attacking the flat area with one receiver and a corner route on top of that. And basically, you're really putting this corner in a position where you want to read him. If he stays low, you can throw up top. If he ends up bailing and all that, then you want to attack this flat area. And there's so many different types of ways you can do that. But the thing that I want to focus on is just the placement of the ball here by Lucas Johnson here on this one drive here that we're on. We're down 20-0, and we need something before halftime. And this drive really was a great job by Lucas Johnson, that he really puts the team on his shoulders, makes a great throw, makes the correct read, the corner stays low, biting on the receiver, and he throws it's a great read, great throw, picks up 15 yards, and it really gives us a good idea of just the rhythm. Gets his feet set and makes a quick decision. You got a low corner, and he places it where only his receiver can catch it. And it's good, basic, sound football, good quarterback play. And it's like, all right, here we go. All right, nice play. And then we move forward here on the very next play. And it's almost like the same thing, but this time you're going to really get an idea of him reading the safety on this one. They give a look and they start rolling down, and Lucas Johnson does a nice job of, he's going to see this inverted coverage. They're going to invert this thing to a single high. Safety's going to come down, and Lucas Johnson really shows some good post-snap reading coverage ability here. He sees a roll down. He takes a little peek to see what's going on. At the same time, in his peripheral, he can see it's man coverage here. Fresno State was showing a 2 safety high look. Corners were pressing, so they were showing what we call a 2 deep man under look. He sees the safeties invert, kind of roll to a single high, and immediately what's going on in his head, it's cover 1 all of a sudden. I got 1-on-1, and this DB isn't going to help because of his eyes right here. So he's really going to be in a great position with this post read where he takes advantage of a safety's momentum going down, and he delivers just a nice ball, great catch, and you got yourself a big play. And Lucas Johnson produces 2 good passes, 2 good plays with a great catch, to go ahead and really start giving us the momentum that we need. Now, the problem was we weren't finishing in the drives previous to this. So here we are driving down the field. Lucas Johnson has just made a big play with his legs. He's really carrying the team on his shoulders and just understanding the moment. Getting into halftime, we really need to score really bad. And again, you got a situation here where you got a 3-by-1 look by San Diego State. You got a 2 safety high look. And what San Diego or Fresno State is showing is a 2 deep man under, showing man press here, 2 safety high look, not showing any pressure. And that's important for a quarterback. I can't stress enough. The quarterback's first job is to make sure the pass protection is there. He's got to make sure, do I have the numbers that's going to give me a chance to set my feet and throw? Once he's established that in his head, then it's about reading coverages and where do I like the matchup? And because they're at the boundary here on this hash, this safety doesn't have a lot of real estate that he has to cover. So he's a danger. So we got to make sure that we handle this guy. And so if you're going to throw to this single receiver side, and he's playing outside the hash now, that's a big deal on certain coverages. That tells the quarterback a lot. Is he inside the hash? Is he on the hash? Is he outside the hash? And so the quarterback has to consider that. Is he playing games with me, especially if I like this matchup? But I can't be thrown into double coverage. So there's a lot of little things that a seasoned quarterback has got to make sure he does. And he keeps his eyes focused on this way so that he can get the leverage of this safety just a step or two. It's a major, major thing. He probably made his decision on pre-snap. Yeah, I want to go here. So he deliberately gives a strong open shoulder look. Okay, eyes this way, gets the lean and the eyes to focus on this way here. All right. And he really sets it up nice where he sets his feet immediately and he's already pulling the trigger. And what you got is, you tell quarterbacks, hey, if they're even, he's leaving. Okay. He's open now. And so you want to go ahead and give him a great ball. And this is a dime. Great throw, only where he can catch it. Shavers makes a great job by not getting his hands up too early, and makes an unbelievable catch because he didn't sell the ball coming his way too soon. And then, of course, the quarterback does a great job of his hands are literally down until the last minute. Doesn't give this DB any chance whatsoever other than is he reading his eyes, but hands are not up. Where the hand's going to go, and it's at the last moment. And what a great throw. We always teach quarterbacks, throw it to that outside shoulder, okay, because it's almost impossible for that DB to make any deflection whatsoever. If that ball's anywhere else, it's incomplete. But it's a great throw. Shavers really snuggles that thing in, make sure that his body gets into the end zone. And you just can't stress enough how big of a touchdown drive that is because, yeah, it's 20-0. You feel like everything's going against you, but you're going into halftime down 20-7. That is a whole different ball game altogether. And so I was really proud to see some of these throws, some of these reads, and the same thing with him using his legs. He really showcased himself in just a beautiful way that you're like, man, those are the things that you remind a quarterback, man, you can do these things, and you get consistent at it. You get really good at it. There's no reason why you just can't continue to build on that. So good job on Lucas Johnson's part. I don't think it surprised anybody that he can make these throws and make those runs. And that was a fun drive, great drive by him, and the way to put the whole thing on his shoulders. He really showcased himself on that drive. Now, here's a big play here that I really want us to focus on. You're going to notice the ticker on the bottom, Aztec Nation, fourth quarter. And, we're having our moments during this game, no doubt, where we're like, there's so many moments where we feel like we're so far behind, but really we're not. We're down by 10. It's fourth quarter. We're on their side of the field. We're at the plus 43 yard line, 3rd and 3, and a score on this drive, field goal or touchdown. Field goal puts us within 1 touchdown. Defense has been playing great. They've only gotten 3 points in the whole second half. And really all the momentum's on our side. And this is, to me, the play of the game. Yes, there was a lot of other stuff. And how can you call this the play of the game? Just because I think the emotion of you hit this play, it really turns your momentum into capital M momentum. And if you miss this play, the deflation that comes from that, what it does to a team sometimes, you hit this play, you forget about all the other issues, what happened before the game. Now you get Fresno State pressing. Oh my gosh, here they come. And this is Aztecs. This is the first place Aztecs, and here they come. And I tell you, there's nothing like it. And I wasn't really disappointed with this call, with this play. Right here, you see the look. Now, let me explain this defense and why. Right now, they're in a pistol look. It's the coaching staff right now that's reading the coverage, okay? And what this coach sees is that he sees man press, and he sees a 2 safety high look, but it really isn't a 2 safety high look because they're in a 3-by-1. And so here's their 4-man front. Here's your 2 corners. This is the Will linebacker. Here's the Mike linebacker. And your nickel, we're calling him the Sam, he's come all the way out here, okay, in coverage, and they have to walk down their strong safety to cover the number 3 receiver here, this tight end. So as a quarterback and as a coach, play caller, he knows this is going to be single high. Now, is this guy going to stay on this? There is nothing out here. No help whatsoever, and you got press coverage, and they're showing nothing but man across. All right, him on him, and him on the number 3 receiver. So you're going to see Lucas Johnson, he goes through his fake clap, and they look to the sideline. All right, coach, what is it that you see that you want to run based on what Fresno State is showing? Coach makes the call, okay, and all right, cool with it, makes the call. Everybody sees it, receivers see it, and then you see running back make the pass protection call. Okay, that's what he's yelling out to these guys. He's helping out to make sure they're on the same page, what the pass protection call or whatever the run play is. But the O-line knows, all right, or maybe he's just communicating, this is the front I see, to make sure that the running back is on the same page with the lineman. Again, pass protection is so important. You got to make sure that that's taken care of first. And so you get the quarterback, gives a little, and that could be a dummy signal, what they got going on, giving them kind of a different look, whatever else. But the whole key is, man, if that safety is going to sit there with no help over the top, you got to go ahead and take that shot if they're going to give it, And sure enough, he keeps his eyes on that safety just to hold him there. Great job by this receiver. Attack that outside shoulder so he cannot see what's coming and then you tell that number 2 receiver, you get to that real estate that's going to be open. Lucas Johnson does a perfect read. It's a great read. He has the guy open. You're a Division I program, and you see that kind of look. You have to take that shot in a game like this. You just got to take that shot. So me as a quarterback coach, I'm looking at that great decision, great job, and this is a winner. He makes this catch. The fight song is playing. Unfortunately, overthrew it. And you tell a quarterback, hey, if you're going to make that decision now, you got to execute it now. And trust me, there's no one who feels more worse than the quarterback coming off that sign, knowing, man, I crossed all my T's, I dotted all my I's. We worked on that during the week, and we got the look we wanted. And you couldn't pick a better moment in a football game, especially the type of football game, the way things were going Fresno State's way, that, man, there it is. His jaw is wide open. Boy, I'm going to land this left hook, and we're going to get our knockout shot right here to really daze this team, and you go for it. Nothing wrong with that. You want that in a quarterback. You want that in a team, But when you miss, oh, my goodness, the deflation that can come out of that. And, and I know I was like, oh, a lot of Aztec fans, you just sink in your seat, from being on the edge of your seat, and there it is, to you just sink, and you're like, oh. And at that crucial moment, fourth quarter, you hit that, there we are, Aztecs. There we are. It's 23-20. You know what I mean? You're feeling good. The defense has been doing their job in the second half. And maybe they press a little bit. Maybe we finally get that big turnover that we need to, take the lead or whatever else. But to me, that was the play of the game, because I think it just had so much ramifications in a really tough ball game for us. We couldn't get into character, yet we're still standing toe-to-toe in the center of the ring with these guys. As a fan base, as a coaching staff, man, you pat that kid on the rear end and say, man, I like what you're doing and all that. Let's execute it now. Let's get it done. And that's going to be important that we give that to our younger group of kids, the young freshman quarterback, when he becomes the guy next year, if not later on when he's getting playing time this year, to any position, that they know that there's a family, an Aztec family, that's going to be behind you no matter what. And not everything's going to work out perfectly, but you definitely don't let it beat you up, where you let that thing just nest on the top of your head in a negative fashion. You really make sure that you get that thing cleared up and say, hey, we're right there. We're right there.
So Lucas has definitely got a ton of ability at that quarterback position, Lucas Johnson. And, we were very excited when he decided to come back home to San Diego. He's a San Diego kid, and, he's got a big arm. He's got some ability with his legs. And, at that quarterback position for San Diego State, it's something that we were not really accustomed to, right? Having those threats from that position. But it's definitely something we're excited about, and seeing Lucas at that spot, it opens up a lot of possibilities in our minds as the fan base. So you can't help but get excited for the future after seeing what we were seeing this year. So I know we wanted to touch in a little bit on the freshman quarterback that, Aztec Nation's all a buzz about, and that is William Haskell. So I know you wanted to show he got some playing time and had a successful drive late in the ball game. But, we want to take a look at some of that film and kind of take a look at some of his progress and maybe some things that we didn't catch right off the bat.
Yeah, a lot of fun watching him and, with his high school stuff. And boy, he really stands out. His athleticism, of course, and, his size really just pops out of the screen. And, right away, I'm thinking of Vince Young when I saw him. And just when you're that fast and that tall, boy, 3-4 steps and you've already covered 10, 15 yards. And what a blessing that is. And, he's got gear. Boy, he's in fifth gear right now when he starts to run. So it was really fun to watch him, get a kind of a little bit of display of him at this level, kind of giving us as a fan base a peek on, what we're going to be able to look forward to in the future, and and see him in action, and also kind of give us an idea of how he's been looking at practice. And we as a fan base always got to remember, now these coaches get to look at these kids every day, not just on Saturday. And so what we're going to show is just 2 quick clips that to me stood out, that reminded me of the potential, and reminded me also that he's a freshman, and he's an exciting freshman. But this play, I really was impressed with him, simply because of just understanding at the second level. He's hit a couple of passes here in the first level with some hitches. The coach kept it really basic for him. Make your quick read and deliver a good ball. He's definitely a threat as a run. But again, you really want to develop as a quarterback that, hey, I got to be able to hurt teams with my arm here. And he does a nice job right here. What we're going to get out of this from San Diego State is that we're going to end up getting 2 of these inside, the number 2 receiver here and the number 3 receiver here to the field side. You're going to get yourself what's called an over route. He wants to make sure that he occupies this safety and gets over. We're going to get a clear out by this receiver. We're going to get an over route, and then we're going to get a dig route or a square in, where this guy gets himself in a position where we call it coming underneath the wake, like a boat leaves a wake. Well, we want to come underneath his wake. And so Haskell does a nice job of reading the coverage correctly, delivers a great ball, stands tall in the pocket. And that's one thing he's going to have to make sure he does. And that is use his height to his advantage. And that is where he can see the field. Hopefully, he's a film rat as a quarterback, where he really gets and falls in love with reading coverages and beating coverages with his arm, and hopefully that's something that is in his DNA, and he continues to develop that because here, I love how tall he's standing in the pocket. I mean, his long legs really develop depth. Now, the negative and positive with that we got to be really careful with quarterbacks I'm speaking of. Sometimes when you get too deep, it really makes it tough on your tackles because now your defensive ends can play wider and run away from your protection because your angle is so deep, they can play wide. So you got to make sure as a freshman quarterback that you know how to manipulate the pocket wisely, because if you're more shallow in this pocket, it makes it easier for your tackles, especially if your guard and center play is stout, where they can take care of that middle and it makes it easier for your tackle. So a freshman quarterback in developing his quarterback game, how can I help out my protection? Well, certain drops, how deep your drops are, timing on your footwork and all that. It goes along with everything else on reading coverages, accurate throws, manipulating a safety. There's so much to the game of football and there's so much to the game of quarterbacking that he's got his work cut out for him, but boy, the physical tools that God has given him, love seeing it. And, he stands tall in that pocket, got a nice little base right there. The tackles do a great position. They're in great position to feed that pocket, give him a great pocket, and he delivers a great ball in traffic, and it's the great read. It's the right read. The defense went with the over route. He got underneath this safety and he delivers it on good timing. And you got yourself a nice 12, 15 yard pickup. Great ball, great confidence booster, for the young kid. And for the fan base there, you get excited. He's just standing tall, nice passing lane, follows through on his throw and leads them beautifully, but he's throwing it in the zone. He's not over leading him because he recognizes this is a zone coverage I'm facing, and I put it right in the hole for my receiver where he can protect himself. Body catches it, and you move the chains, and you see that, and you're like, wow, great job, Haskell. That was really great to see, and that fired me up seeing that from the kid. Now we're in a big money down, third down. You're going to find yourself in big ball games. You're a big time football player. You want to be in big time moments, and these 3rd and 5s inside the green area, okay, the red zone and all, you got to make sure you hit this, and timing is of an essence. Now, for the first time here, Fresno State is showing we're going to go ahead and show pressure. They bring a safety down, making it look like these 3 are going to be covered by these 3. And it's that same look we saw Lucas Johnson kind of face earlier, right? Safety's kind of playing this hash. What are they going to do? And they're trying to play games with Haskell, the young freshman here. All right. Just trying to play games, going to mug this guy. And then, of course, he's going to drop. And Haskell, he reads it. He sees it. He knows the pressure's there. And I'm going to talk about this real quick since it's on my mind, why that is a big deal. This quarterback's got to know my protection is set. I got 6 protectors here. Even if this guy walks up and he brings pressure, I got the numbers to protect me. Okay. Even if they brought both of these guys, I have the numbers to protect me. Let me finish my footwork and go ahead and deliver the ball. So there shouldn't be no rush on his part. And so on a 3rd and 5, windows come open and they close right away. And so what you're going to see our receivers here, our number 3 receiver, he's just going to run himself a slant route. He's going to get on the other level on this one and get on that other side there. Now on a 3rd and 5, as a quarterback, you got to understand that you're going to hit that step and you're going to throw it. You got to throw it then. Instead, Haskell kind of showing his, his youth and the uncertainty. His eyes are not on routes here. His eyes is on pressure. And that hurts him here, because again, you don't need to be looking at pressure because we have the numbers. If somebody misses their block and someone hits you in the jaw, well, that's not on you as a quarterback. That's on the guys in the front. You got to trust your guys. Your job is hit your footwork, hit that last leg, and then throw that thing. Get that first down right there. But instead, when you're not too sure, don't got a lot of experience sometimes. Sometimes you'll look at the pressure of the pocket kind of collapsing on you, and now you have to try to create and improvise, and that's not what you want from a quarterback. But these are the little things that when you're coming out, this is what a young quarterback will see on film, and he's going to talk to his receivers, and we're going to work after practice where I'm going to go ahead and take this snap, and you're going to work this progression where it's going to go 1 to 2, where you're going to hit quick 3, you're going to hit that foot right there, and immediately now you're pulling the trigger because you see a guy leaning that way. And if he doesn't like it, he can hold that and hit the second level on the progression there. He doesn't need to leave it too soon. Okay. And so quarterback coach is going to be talking to him about that. Hey, listen, you made the good read. Your eyes were there. Trust your feet, deliver that ball and pump that thing in there. And if this guy breaks the tackle, he scores. But if he gets tackled, we've moved the chains on a 3rd and 5. And I think Haskell, because of his height, his size, vision isn't going to be an issue. Once he gets that footwork really honed in with him pulling the trigger, making these reads, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch and do certain things. Never mind the things that he can do on his athletic ability, but just killing defenses with the underneath game, killing defense. And we saw it in high school, how well he throws a deep ball, and just doing his job on that. So I'm really excited. Can't wait to see how this kid develops, here in the future. If we see more of him this year, we get a chance to see how he grows. And if it's until next year, still going to be excited to see this young Aztec really develop to be a fine quarterback. And hopefully we're looking at, all conference player here pretty soon.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Once again, if you're watching, thank you for subscribing to the Sons of Montezuma Film Room series, and definitely check us out, sonsofmontezuma.com, our shop where you can pick up a hat here, Sons of Montezuma hat, and of course the official Greg Bell t-shirt. So all you Aztecs fans, definitely check that out. Coach C, thank you again. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.